Welcome to the Whisper of the Dark. Tonight, we delve into the spine-chilling corners of the internet to bring you the top 5 real horror stories shared by users on Reddit. These tales, plucked from the depths of human experience, will leave you questioning what's truly lurking in the shadows. Are they just fabricated stories designed to give us a quick fright? Or do they hold a terrifying grain of truth, a glimpse into the darkness that surrounds us? Turn off the lights and let's begin. Our first chilling tale takes us into the cramped, claustrophobic world of a small apartment. Imagine this. You're home alone, the silence of the night broken only by the hum of the refrigerator and the distant traffic outside. You're settling into that peaceful solitude when you hear it. A faint rustling sound coming from the air vents. At first you dismiss it. Maybe it's just the building settling, or perhaps a stray rat. But as the nights crawl by, the sounds become more frequent, louder. They begin to resemble footsteps. A chill crawls down your spine. What could possibly be moving around in your ventilation system? Driven by a mixture of fear and morbid curiosity, you decide to investigate. You grab a flashlight, your heart pounding in your chest, and climb up to get a closer look at the vent. You shine the light into the darkness, bracing yourself for whatever might be lurking inside. And then you see them, a pair of eyes staring back at you. Human eyes, filled with a chilling intensity that makes your blood run cold. The realization hits you like a ton of bricks. Someone has been living in your vents, watching you. The police are called, and after a tense search, they find him. A man who had been evicted from the very same building weeks earlier. He'd been hiding in the vents, silently observing, a phantom haunting the lives of unsuspecting tenants. Our next descent into darkness takes us to the eerie halls of an old hospital. Imagine the weight of years of suffering, the echoes of pain and fear clinging to the walls. You're working the night shift, the only soul seemingly awake in this labyrinth of sterile silence. You've been tasked with organizing supplies in the basement, a place notorious among the staff for its unsettling atmosphere. Whispers of strange occurrences and unexplained noises have circulated for years, painting the basement as a breeding ground for fear. As you work, surrounded by shelves stacked high with medical supplies, a prickling sensation crawls up your neck. You feel it then, a presence behind you, watching your every move. You spin around, your heart hammering in your chest, and catch a fleeting glimpse of a shadowy figure darting across the room. It vanishes into the darkness before you can get a clear look. The lights flicker, plunging the basement into momentary darkness. And as the dim bulbs sputter back to life, you hear it, a whisper, cold and ethereal. You don't belong here. Terror seizes you. You race out of the basement, your footsteps echoing in the silence, and back into the relative safety of the hospital's upper floors. Later, you learn that a nurse had died in the basement decades earlier, her demise shrouded in mystery. From the unsettling chill of the hospital basement, we move to a scene of revelry, a house party, buzzing with energy. Music thrums, laughter spills out of open windows, and the air crackles with conversation and the clinking of glasses. You're mingling, enjoying the carefree atmosphere when you notice him. A man standing alone in the corner of the room, a shadowy figure amidst the celebration. He doesn't seem to fit in. While everyone else is engaged in conversation, laughing and dancing, he remains detached, his expression unreadable. He doesn't speak to anyone, doesn't acknowledge the festive energy swirling around him. It's as if he's observing from a distance, a silent, enigmatic presence. Curiosity piqued, you ask the host about him, but their response is met with a perplexed frown. Who? I don't know anyone fitting that description. I didn't invite anyone like that. A chill runs down your spine. How could he have just appeared, unnoticed in the middle of a crowded party? You turn to look back at the corner where he was standing just moments before, but he's gone. Vanished without a trace, as if he were never really there at all. Our tale unfolds on the edge of a dense, sprawling forest where civilization meets the wilds. Imagine lying in bed, drifting off to sleep when you're jolted awake by a baby crying, faint but distinct, outside your window. Concern washes over you. It's the middle of the night, and the crying seems to come from the forest. You grab a flashlight, heart pounding, and step out into the night. Following the cries, you venture deeper into the woods. The trees form a canopy overhead. The air grows heavy. Suddenly the crying stops. Silence descends, broken only by your breathing and distant crickets. You strain your ears, but there's nothing. Then you hear it, a deep, menacing growl. It's not any animal you recognize, it's something primal. Panic seizes you. You turn and run, heart hammering. Later you learn about local legends, stories of a creature that mimics a baby's cries to lure victims. Was it just a wild animal or something more sinister? Our tale of terror takes place in a rundown motel, a beacon of flickering neon lights on a deserted highway. Imagine the weariness of a long drive, the promise of rest drawing you to the motel's faded sign. You step inside, the air thick with the smell of stale cigarettes and disinfectant. The clerk hesitates when you request a room. "You sure you don't want a different one?" they ask. "That one? It's got a reputation." You wave away their concern, attributing it to local superstition. You're tired and just need a place to sleep. What could go wrong? At first, everything seems normal. The room is small and sparsely furnished, but clean. You toss your bag on the bed, relieved to be off the road. As you're unpacking, the television flickers to life, filled with static. You're sure you didn't turn it on. You switch it off, a shiver running down your spine. It clicks back on, showing a grainy figure at the foot of your bed. You scramble back, heart pounding, and fumble for the light switch. The room floods with light, revealing nothing. The figure is gone. There's no one else in the room. You spend the night wide awake, every creak and rustle sending chills down your spine. In the morning you ask the clerk about the room. They sigh, a knowing look in their eyes. A few years back, a guest died in that room. Something unnatural. No one stayed there for long since. You leave the motel, the unsettling encounter lingering in your mind. You can't shake the feeling that you were not alone in that room. These stories, shared from the darkest corners of the internet, remind us that the line between reality and the supernatural can sometimes blur. They linger in our minds like whispers in the dark, making us question the nature of the world around us. Do these tales hold a grain of truth, a glimpse into the shadows that lurk just beyond our perception? Or are they simply products of our collective imagination, stories we tell ourselves to cope with the unknown? Until next time, sleep well if you can. And don't forget to hit the bell icon because you don't want to miss what's lurking in the shadows.